Have you ever thought about what makes exceptional leaders unique? What motivates them to inspire generations and bring up a lasting change? For one of the most famous people in modern history, Nelson Mandela, success was driven by his influence on mankind rather than by his own financial benefit. Deep lessons about persistence, leadership, and a firm dedication and justice can be learned from his life. On July 18, 1918, Nelson was born in a small South African village. He was born into a rural family and grew up in a country that suffered from racial injustice and segregation. His struggle to become the first black president of South Africa is absolutely remarkable. He challenged his country's harsh system as a young man by pursuing a law degree and became active against segregation. He became a symbol of hope, of strength, and forgiveness after serving 27 years in jail for his involvement in the battle against apartheid. Despite the fact that he made a lot of sacrifices during his life, what he left behind shows that ethical strength and a clear sense of purpose can change not only a country, but the entire world. So let's explore the timeless lessons the Nelson Mandela series of steps to success has to offer. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace, he famously stated. He could have kept hate toward his oppressors after spending almost 30 years in prison. He felt that the only way to rebuild a nation that was in pieces was to follow the path of forgiveness and righteousness. The idea was demonstrated by his leadership during South Africa's transition from apartheid to democracy. In order to address past injustices and promote understanding and communication over revenge, he formed the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. In addition to bringing a sharply divided nation together, this daring gesture of forgiveness showed that real power comes from overcoming hatred, not answering it in kind. Forgiveness may be a really effective tool for both professional and personal success in our own lives. It lets us concentrate on constructing bridges, generating possibilities, and progressing when we let go of grudges. In the face of severe difficulties, his example inspires us to put peace over hostility. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I've made missteps along the way, but I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. His life served as a perfect example of the strength of persistence. It always seems impossible until it's done, he once said. He persisted in his belief in a free and equal South Africa in the face of enormous pressure to make compromises. He refused to sacrifice his values in exchange for conditional freedom, even while he was imprisoned. Through his refusal to accept conditional freedom, which would have required him to give up the African National Congress and his beliefs, he proved to be a manifestation of his dedication. Instead of giving in, he chose to face additional years of hardship, proving that one's sacrifices are frequently required for collective progress. Given the difficult challenges, he never lost faith in his vision, as shown by the letters he wrote to his family and supporters while imprisoned. He gained admiration worldwide for his firm dedication to justice and equality. His endurance and his beliefs motivated others to support the cause, indicating the transformative power of moral clarity and commitment. His biography gives us an inspiration to uphold our moral principles in the face of difficulties, whether or not that means standing up for what's right or pursuing goals of our own. Success is more about having enough courage to stand by what you believe than it is about winning things right away. Courageous people don't fear forgiving for the sake of peace. One of his most distinctive qualities is his ability to prevail. The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. He came out of his 27-year imprisonment stronger and more determined than ever before to end apartheid and guide his nation toward freedom. He spent his time imprisoned on Robben Island in Namibia, considering learning and mentoring other inmates. By transforming his imprisonment into a time of growth, he proved that capacity is about thriving through challenge rather than avoiding it. Millions of people found inspiration in Mandela's ability to keep a positive outlook and a sense of purpose during the most difficult times. In an effective display of his ability to put behind anger and demonstrate peace, he welcomed his former prison guards to his inauguration as President of South Africa. Archbishop Desmond Tutu was a key member of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which promoted restorative justice over punishment. Many South Africans were able to face their history because of this strategy, which promoted a healing process to put the future ahead of retaliation. And honestly, we can all learn to be strong. It calls on us to adjust, to endure, and to draw purposes from the challenges that we face in life. His story shows us that failures aren't the end, but rather a chance to get stronger and keep going after our goals. His modesty as well as his confidence and teamwork were characteristics of his leadership. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front, he often said. His view that genuine leadership entails empowering people and promoting harmony was represented in the ideology. He placed a high value on cooperation while serving as president of South Africa, uniting leaders from all backgrounds to rebuild the country. He listened to many points of view and tried to reach an agreement, proving that cooperation and tolerance are necessary for development. When we lead with modesty, we can build trust, improve relationships, and create an atmosphere where everybody feels appreciated. Mandela's strategy is an indication that teamwork and a common goal are often the keys to success. He famously stated, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world," expressing his strong belief in the capacity for change of education. He realized that gaining knowledge enables people to confront injustices and build a better future. He was a lifelong supporter of education, arguing that it was essential to end the cycle of injustice and poverty. He established a culture of intellectual development within the prison walls by encouraging his fellow convicts to pursue education even while he was still imprisoned. Success in the constantly changing environment of today depends on lifelong learning. His dedication to education gives us an example that improving our knowledge and abilities can help entire communities, in addition to offering benefits for ourselves on top of that. By making a dedication to education, we empower both ourselves and others to effect lasting improvements. A blueprint to lead a purposeful and influential life is provided by Mandela. A few tips to success: accepting forgiveness, maintaining conviction, developing resilience, practicing modesty in leadership, and placing a high priority on education. His story is a model of the power of courage, compassion, and dedication to the greater good. When we consider his legacy, we have to keep in mind that success involves more than just accomplishing personal goals or making money. It's also about having a positive impact on society. By following these guidelines, we can start to build a society that upholds the justice, equality, and peace that Mandela envisioned. So, what actions are you going to take today to imitate him? Which of his teachings are most compelling to you? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next episode.